Hello, I'm Jonathan Slade, Associate Professor of Communication here at McDaniel College.
And I'm Richard Brett, a new Associate Professor also of Communication.
And we're here to introduce a brand new major here at McDaniel. It's called Cinema! We've been working on this brand new cinema major for almost 7 years now here in the Communication Department. And we're really excited because it's kind of a new approach to studying film. It marries some of the elements of traditional communication and media study to a more literary approach to studying film.
Back in 1910, 1915, there were theorists who asked, well, what is the basic component of film? And you might think, well, it's a piece of film or it's a frame. Some of these people thought it was the human brain, or that it was dreams, or what happens between the shots. And we think students should be exposed to all of those different theories and learn to think on their own, so that when you actually put a camera in their hands, they're doing something much more interesting than just imitating what they've seen in other movies.
I couldn't agree more. In fact, what we're trying to create here is what we call media literate cinematic storytellers. So these are folks who are learning how to tell a story regardless of venue or medium.
We don't make the assumption that your local cineplex or theater is the only place your material might end up. This is the 21st century. As soon as they leave our classroom, even especially while they're in our classroom, they're bombarded with media of all different sorts. From their iPhones, their computers, commercials, movies, what have you. Part of what Jonathan and I are trying to do is teach them how to read that media and one day contribute to it.
You know, a good story is a good story if it's smartly told. And so we want you to be able to leave and see your stuff on cable television. You can see your stuff on the internet. You can look at it on a smartphone. You can even see it in a movie theater. So we're teaching the liberal art skills, the creative problem solving, the teamwork, what makes a good story, what is a character arc, what makes a good character, the stuff that doesn't expire. Because a lot of times you go to study film somewhere, you're paying a lot of money to learn how to use a program or a film stock that's going to be obsolete by the time you graduate. So why spend all your money learning how to use a piece of gear that's going to be gone by the time you get out?
Anyone who picks up a camera is constructing the world and putting it together in a certain deliberate way for their audience. And you are the one mediating it. Everything you do, you're creating an entire world. Everything from the soundtrack to camera placement to the types of filters you use. All of it can be deliberately used to elicit a certain emotional effect from your audience.
You know, I have a lot of parents come in with prospective students and they say, you know, why should I study cinema? You know, my kid can go buy a little camcorder or a flip camera for a couple $100. There are now DVD commentaries on every DVD you get, or Netflix, you look at it, you can listen to the director talk. But my answer to that is, you know, if it wasn't important to study cinema still, then YouTube would look like Turner Classic Movies. People would already understand the grammar of film, you know, how to create continuity, how to build a character arc. And so, you know, that's what we want to do. We want to give people the tools to be as professional and to be as creative and to be groundbreaking, frankly, in getting their ideas across.
As George Lucas once said, lots of people can write, very few people can write well. And he also prophesied that one day, every one of us will be walking around with a movie studio on our shoulder. And from the time of America's Funniest Home Videos to the present, even more so now, that's true. But the quality control, that's where we come in.
I think it's absolutely essential to keep teaching cinema in the 21st century. It's as relevant now as it was in the late 1890s when cinema first appeared. Cinema!